Evening everyone, hope you're all okay. Dan Dravidi here, bringing you another video which is off the property topic at the moment, and I felt it right to do a video about my recent learning. So let's go ahead and get started. So this video is off the topic of property, and it's something that I've learned being in isolation in my place with my family and my two young children. And I've always been a bit skeptical about doing videos sort of family related, but the learning for me on this subject was great, and I've had a really good time in doing it. So I thought it was worthy of its own video. So we're all in some form of isolation and lockdown at the moment, and for me, I try and spend as much time as I can with my children, but inevitably, because of the nature of the beast of property and my work and life, even though I am technically semi-retired, you do find yourself having to say no to them when you have pressing issues or things to do or stuff you've got to get done. However, being in isolation, it has absolutely opened my eyes up to an opportunity which I knew was there, but I didn't realise how much of the opportunity was going to come sort of land right in my lap. And this opportunity is absolutely isolation with your kids equals the opportunity. And what is that? So for me, I absolutely want to try and do, as most fathers, the right thing and the best thing for your children. So you send them to sports clubs, you let them do activities at great cost sometimes, you try and teach them the right things, the right way of doing things, even the way they eat, hold their knife and fork, whatever it may be. But Charlotte, my wife, and I, we sat down when we were going into this lockdown phase, and we thought, right, what are we going to do to make the day so it's full, it's fun, and they're going to carry on learning? So we broke it down, and Charlotte, my wife, has been fundamental in the learning side of it, because I didn't do too well at school. I'm not the brightest spark when it comes to some of the educational stuff. So Charlotte would drive the learning side of it. But we said every morning we'll get up early and we'll go for a family run or bike ride, whatever it may be. And that will get some energy out, it will keep us all active and quite fit. And we're quite an active family anyway. Kids do Kung Fu. Obviously I'm a black belt in Kung Fu. We train boxing, gym, all sorts of stuff. Kids play football, ballet, whatever it is. So we wanted to stay active. So we started going for this morning run, which was great, sets the whole day up. I then do a workout after the run, depending on the day. I various different things. And then the kids, they've been doing the Joe Wicks, the YouTube guy, who's been going live around 9 a.m. Every morning, so they get straight into that. And then afterwards they have something to eat, and then they'll go into their sort of school and what they're doing for the day. But for me, it was only later on, sort of through high school, I really discovered sport, and I was always eager to participate in sport, but I wasn't always great at certain sports, but I really did enjoy and take my hand to basketball. So, you know, my children are growing up fast, and I thought this is a great opportunity to spend some time with them. So we break the day up just after lunch. I take them down. We're really fortunate we have our own tennis court. We take them down to the tennis court, and we do a 45-minute sort of intense training sessions. We do half football, half basketball. And the time I'm getting to spend with my children on my own in that environment, because normally when I have them on my own, we go out and we do things, we go to parks and bowling alleys and amusements and whatever, but having them on my own where there's nothing else apart from the focus on me and what we're going to be doing, quite a challenge. So I've turned into this sort of sports coach, and I've really enjoyed it, and we've had lots of fun. But even just 5-6 days in, the kids are learning and getting their skill set further along than it was when we started, and that's great to see. And I started to talk to my wife about this, and for me, we are all in this together, and we're all in this lockdown situation together. So what can we do to, one, keep ourselves occupied and sane, but also what opportunities do we have outside of business? There's going to be loads of opportunities with regards to the property world, business, whatever it may be, because we're in a turmoil shift, and through that there will be opportunities, people suffering, people doing well, whatever it may be. But the opportunity that is staring me in the face, and it's probably staring you in the face as well, is one, to spend an amount of time and a quality amount of time with your children. And it's not just about sports, it's also about cooking breakfast and doing things at lunchtime and drawing pictures together, or going out and tidying the garden, or building a little bit of a burn pile together, and just getting stuck in these things that you may do on your own with your children. And for me, the opportunity is one of the biggest opportunities that I didn't realise was there for me in this period of lockdown. So I urge you all, if you're not already, and I'm sure most of you are, but start to look at that as another opportunity, and how you can get the maximum benefit out of what is going to be a time of period where we're all together. We don't know how long, but hopefully it's going to be a short period of time. Let's say anything from 3 weeks to maybe 12 weeks, somewhere in between them. In the grand scheme of things, it's a short space of time. But the relationship and the bonds that you can build with your children in so many different ways, had we have not been in these set of circumstances, is an opportunity that we should all grab hold of. So let's get into some of the detail. I'm going to post some pictures of what we've been doing, and the kids doing the basketball and the football and bits and pieces. But let's go ahead and get started on what some of the things that you can do in this lockdown environment. So like I said right at the beginning, getting active early on. At the moment, we can only go out once a day as an individual or with members of your household for exercise, whether that's taking your dog for a walk or a bike ride or a run or whatever. So what we do is early in the morning. It is getting later every day, but it started off at around 7 o'clock. You go for your run, and it's not an intense run, it's not a really fast run. We're doing with little legs here, but we're doing anything from sort of 1.75 to 2 kilometers a day in terms of a run, and then there's a walk in between where we slow down and walk back and things like that. And when you're running or you're cycling or whatever, and you're experiencing that level of encouragement to encourage your children to keep up with you, it's fantastic. But it also starts the day really well. I'm a massive fan of always exercising in the morning anyway, but to sort of hit it home to my children, I think is fantastic. But it also takes some energy out. These guys, they wake up, they've got huge amounts of energy in the morning, and to calm them down, ready for what is going to be a lot to cram into the day, but lots of learning, lots of things that we're going to do together. This is a great way to start the day. Then the second thing is to take advantage of some of the YouTube channels and videos that are going around. The Joe Wicks, the body coach thing, I haven't watched a huge amount of it, but I've watched some of it, and what I have seen, it looks fantastic. And why not take advantage? We're not doing a lockdown in the 1940s where we literally have our neighbours to shout across the windows to have a discussion and the daily newspaper. We're in the 21st century where we have technology at our fingertips, and YouTube is a massive thing. So maybe Joe Wicks isn't working for you and your children. Maybe another video will, but get them active again in the morning, an hour or so, and then try and break it up with some maths and some English and some schoolwork if you can. If you don't have anything that's been given to you by the school, I'm sure there's loads online. Like I say, this isn't something that I'm getting too involved in. But one of the things we are doing with the children is, so they don't just keep raiding the cupboard for different snacks and chocolates and sweets, is we are giving them a pocket money, I think it's £1 every day in loose change. And then they've got a price list, a shop list, where they can then come and they can exchange their daily pocket money for something in the snack box or the treat box or whatever it may be. And that's relevant at the moment because one of the kids is doing sort of pennies and shops and money and everything like that in school. So it's relevant to their topic, but it also makes it a little bit fun, that everyday task that just going to the cupboard and getting something to eat, actually there's a bit of thought involved. And then after lunch, like I say, we're down the tennis court and we're doing basketball, football training, and we may do some tennis and some bike riding as well. So we try and get a good half an hour, 45 minutes exercise activity, like a PE lesson in the afternoon. And that is my time, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm learning a lot, but I'm creating a bond that I haven't had the opportunity to create with my children before. And then in the afternoon, maybe some more work or some activities outside, whether it's cleaning the garden, emptying a garage space, building a little fire, whatever it may be. You're doing it all together. And if you can break up the day to the evening where they've had a really exhausting day and they're keen to get their bath and go to bed or whatever, then great. If you've got really active children who have still got energy to burn, then what we're doing is we're replicating the kids' classes that they would normally do in the early evening, late afternoon. And one of those things is Kung Fu. So you can go online, you can go on YouTube, you can do anything to discover a new skill. You don't necessarily have to be a black belt in Kung Fu to teach your children. You can be brand new to it too and learn together with the children. Just go online, have a look on YouTube, have a look on some of the courses. Norwich Kung Fu Academy, I'll give them a little shout out because that's where I learned right from sort of at the start, right through to black belt. It took me like 3 years after I turned 30. You're never too old to learn something new. And this is a great opportunity with your children or maybe your wife or your husband to learn a new skill together. And we're doing that in the evenings, and we try and do it exactly like we were doing that in the class there. So, and we're doing that twice a week, and then some of the other nights we're doing some other stuff. And then sometimes we're not, we're just chilling out. So try and get something like a class or something maybe new in the evenings. And that sounds like a hell of a lot to cram in. And don't get me wrong, you can do too much during the day. And yesterday I think I crammed far too much in, so today I've had a bit more of a chilled out day. But we can do that, we can pick and choose as we want to. But just take the opportunity to maximize this time, because even though none of us knows how long it's going to be, the chances are it's not going to be a huge amount of time. It's going to be a matter of weeks, maybe a couple of months. So in the terms of your children's childhood, that is a real snippet. That's nothing really. But this time will be talked about for years with them. And the time that you've spent with them and the activities and the skills that you're learning with them or for them or whatever is something that will imprint on their memories forever. So that's it. Nice light-hearted video, something off topic, off the coronavirus, off property, off investing, all these various things. But hopefully it's still been content rich. I'll see you all soon. Cheers.